Hi everyone, welcome to our channel again. Okay. Before we start today's video, I hereby wish you a happy and prosperous new year. Today's video is going to be a very special video where I'll be sharing three simple steps, okay, which will help you to save more money, to invest more money, and also become richer and wealthier over a longer period of time. I hereby request you to kindly understand this in detail, and if you agree with me, kindly implement this in your personal finances. Okay? And if you're taking any new resolution for this particular year, so kindly put this as one of the resolution for the year 2023. Okay? So let's start. The journey to becoming rich starts with the very first and important step is to understand how much you can save every month. Okay, so this can be done with the help of an Excel sheet. Okay, by making a simple statement which is called as a income and expense statement. Okay, so I will just show you what I use for myself. Okay, so this is a Excel sheet which I use, and I name it as my personal net worth statement. Okay. So what I do in this particular sheet, or I hereby request you to also follow the sheet, is on the left hand side I just mention all my incomes in a structured manner. Okay. So in this case, as an example, what I have done, I've just mentioned a salary which I take a net salary which is 40,000 rupees, and as I'm into sales, I earn some incentives every month, so I mentioned that amount. And if I have or you have any other income which you have, you can mention it here. I have just mentioned a basic expenses options, let's say rental income, interest from FDs, or dividends from mutual fund, etc. So this can be mentioned on the left hand side. On the right hand side, you have to mention all the fixed monthly expenses which you have for the month. Okay, so you have to sit calmly, list down all the expenses which you have for the month. Okay, this can start with as basic as, let's say, a house rent, household expenses, your home loan EMIs, car loan EMIs, etc., and other expenses like a traveling expense or car maintenance or a two-wheeler maintenance expense, food expenses, and other stuff. There are other expenses like OTT expenses, internet charges, etc. Okay. So you can mention all the fixed monthly expenses here. Okay. So by mentioning this in detail, you will be able to arrive at a fixed monthly saving, or the monthly saving which you can actually make if you don't do any other expenses. Okay. So in this scenario where I mentioned a salary and an incentive around 50,000, so 50,000 becomes the income, and the expenses in this case, just example, is around 34,000 rupees. So the net saving which we can do every month is 16,000 rupees. Okay. Okay, once you arrive at this particular amount, okay, you have to make sure, once you receive your salary, okay, once you receive your incentive, the first thing you have to do is this investment. Once you have this number in your mind, just fix it in your mind. You have to ensure that once you receive your salary, the second or the third day, you do this investment of 16,000 in a fixed systematic manner. Okay, so as an example, what I have done, I have just taken an example. Let's say you do a 5,000 ka SIP, a mutual fund SIP, and you invest, let's say, 5,000 into direct equity, and you do, let's say, a 3,000 rupees ka FD, or you can say recurring deposit, and you also kept aside 3,000 rupees for your other expenses which you foresee can come after 2 or 3 months. Okay, so this is just short term expenses I've kept aside. So the first thing you do is you fix this amount. Okay, this is the very important thing one need to do once you do this income and expenses statement. So once you do follow this, it will help you to save month on month on a regular basis. Okay? Now comes the second important aspect, or usefulness of this particular sheet. Okay, so once you refer this sheet on a regular basis, once you have to first focus on the expenses. Okay, can you cut down any expenses from this list? Okay, so if you can cut down some of the expenses, it will help you to save more. Okay, that's the first thing you need to do. And there are some expenses which can be postponed, which can be avoided. It will help you to restrict your expenses. So definitely you do all the expenses you wish, but there are some expenses which can be reduced. You should follow to reduce those expenses. Okay, and this sheet will also motivate you, okay, As the other income columns are zero, okay, we only have an income of, let's say, salary and incentive. Can we create additional income from other sources? This sheet will motivate you to think for it. Okay, so if you think for it, I'm sure you'll be able to create additional income over a longer period of time. So this will increase your income, and if you keep your expenses as a fixed expense, you don't increase your expense, you will be able to save more money over a period of time. Okay? So as per the normal study, lot of this wealthy and rich people, okay, they have minimum 6 to 7 income sources. Okay, they don't rely only on one income source. So as a successful investor, or if you want to become richer and wealthier over a period of time, you have to think way out how can I create multiple other income sources, okay? Which we will discuss in detail in our second step. So let's go to the second step now, which is again very important. As we have already seen the first step in detail, okay, let's understand the second and again a most important step to follow, okay, or step to implement. Okay, in this step, okay, what you need to do is you need to make a net worth statement for yourself. Okay, what you mean by a net worth statement? Okay, so in the net worth statement, what you do is you list down all the assets which you have, okay, and also list down all the liabilities which you have. Okay, you ask me, Bala, what you mean by asset or liability? Someone who is not from a commerce background. Okay, so asset is all the assets which includes properties, fixed deposits, mutual fund investments, equity. Assets are those things which grows in value, okay, or it generates a regular income to you. Okay, for example, if you have a fixed deposit, obviously it grows in value if you have a recurring fixed deposit, or if you have opted for a interest payout, it pays you interest. So that's an asset. Okay, if you need money, you can break that every. Similar is a property. If you own a property, that's an asset which you have. It can either generate a rental income, and obviously it will grow in value over a period of time. That becomes an asset. So in this sheet, what we are trying to tell, this is a personal balance sheet or a net worth sheet. Here in the left hand side, you mention all the assets which you have. Okay, so it can be as simple as your FD, mutual funds, equity investments, properties, land, and all this other stuff. Okay, on the right hand side, you mention all the liabilities which you have. Liabilities are the money which you have to pay to someone else. Okay, let's say if you've taken a home loan, that home loan money you have to pay to the bank, so that's a liability. You have to pay this money to someone else. Okay, so I mention all my liabilities here on the right hand side. It can be as simple, you can mention your home loan outstanding balance, personal loan outstanding balance, a car loan outstanding balance. If you have any credit card bills, you can mention it there. If you borrowed money from your friends for some use, for some purpose, you can mention it there. So it mentions all the liabilities or the money you have to pay to someone else. You have to just mention all of those in this particular thing. Okay, at the end, when you deduct your asset, which is your net asset minus your net liabilities, this will help you to arrive at your net worth. Okay, this is your real net worth. If someone asks me what is my net worth as an example, I would say my net worth as of now is around 13,55,000. So by making this sheet, first of all, you have a first clarity. Okay, I have this assets and I have this liabilities. Okay, so what it will help is, first of all, the first thing it will help is it will help to exactly understand the liabilities you have. Okay, what I do on a personal note is, every month when I plan my income, I also update the sheet, the liability sheet. Every day, every month end, I log into all these loan portals. I log into my home loan portal, I log into my personal loan portal, and I log into my car loan portal, and exactly understand what is my outstanding balance or what is my outstanding loan, because these loans are reducing in nature. So as and when I keep paying EMIs on a month on month basis, these loans keep reducing. So ideally, let's say if you've taken a 10 lakh home loan, after a year, this home loan may be worth only 9 lakh 70, 9 lakh 80,000. So what I do personally, I update this sheet on a monthly basis with the live outstanding amount of my home loan as well as other loans. Okay, this exactly tells me how much loan I have to pay. Okay? Now when I see this on a regular basis, when I update the sheet on a regular basis, it helps me, it motivates me to close this loan on a priority basis. I know, okay, the outstanding is around, let's say, 3 lakh rupees. yes, I'm going to receive a bonus, I'm going to receive X money from here, let me close this. Okay, so it motivates me, it helps me to plan and close this loan on a priority basis. Okay, once I close this loan, it helps me to build more asset. I can take additional loan to buy a home, I can take a loan to buy a property or to a land, multiple other things. So once I reduce my liabilities, my net worth increases. Okay, that's what I do on a regular basis. Initially I took the first home loan. Within 4 years I closed the home loan, because it was a 20-year loan, but I closed it in 4.5 years. Then I took another home loan, I bought another property. That home loan is outstanding, but my the first property which I bought is become loan free. Okay, that's how I create asset. And the first property which I bought, that is earning me rental income. So the first focus or the help which you get by following this sheet is you'll be able to exactly understand how much liabilities you have, and it will help you, it will motivate you to close those liabilities. Okay, similarly, when you look at this asset column, okay, if you have very less assets, you can increase. When you keep seeing this sheet, it will motivate you to create more asset. Can I buy a new home? Can I create a mutual fund portfolio? Can I create an equity portfolio? Can I buy a land? Okay, there are other investments like bonds, there are ULIP investments, multiple other investments. Can I activate that? So it will help you to create more assets. Okay, and these two sheets are very much interlinked. Okay, so what happens is more assets, more income. Okay, less liabilities, more savings, because less expenses. If I close one of the home loans, my home loan EMI will not be there, so I'll be able to save more money. So this sheet is a boomerang effect between income and expense statement and your net worth statement. So more assets, more income, less liabilities, or less liabilities, more savings, because less expenses. Okay, so hope this the second step helps you. So I would again suggest you, as you did in income and expense statement, you have to take out some time, sit calmly, mention all the assets in one column and all the liabilities in the second column. Okay, hope this helps to understand it this better. So now let's go to the third and most important step again. So as we have seen the first and the second important step, let's go to the third step, which is again very, very important. Before I share the third step with you is, this step is followed by all the rich and wealthy people. I've been in the business of advisory for the last 15, 16 years. I've been meeting a lot of this rich and wealthy people. So first quality or the first important thing is they always take out time for listening out all the investment options available. Okay, and if they like these investment options, they would reshuffle their finances and arrange money to do these investments. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. So in the third step, okay, it's again a very simple step. Again, we normally use the same Excel sheet as I've shown the first the Excel sheet, where in the first sheet we track the income and expenses, the second sheet we track the personal net worth statement. In the third sheet, what you need to do is you need to list down all the investment options available to you in detail. Okay, so as a normal person, you would come across various investment options. Let's say a friend of you would tell, okay, this investment is doing good, I have done investments, you can consider. You might see a board or any other newspaper or any other medium. Let's say your banker must have told you. So what you have to do is you have to list down all the investment options available to invest. Okay, so you can do this in simple Excel sheet. So as an example, what I've done, I've mentioned the first investment as, let's say, ICICI approved mutual fund. Okay, the minimum investment in this is 10,000 rupees, and the recommendation was given by one of my friend. He says the average return it can generate is 15 to 20%. So I mentioned the return upside. I mentioned the taxation linked to that, and I also mentioned what is going to be the tentative value of this investment in next 2 to 3 years. So this broadly will give me a clear idea. Okay, if I invest 10,000, I have to stay invested for 3 years. This will ideally turn to 15,000. Okay. Similarly, I was coming back from office. I noticed a board. I saw a board which mentioned a property available for sale. So that property was costing 25 lakhs. and I mentioned that property, I feel that property will appreciate in value, so I mentioned that as well. And similarly, I have mentioned a land property board which I saw where the land was available for sale for 10 lakh rupees. I mentioned that as well. So the intention of this sheet or the use of this sheet is you have to mention all the investment options available to you. Okay, I just mention it here. It's not compulsory that you have to do investment here, but when you get surplus funds, okay, you can think of, okay, let's say I have 10,000 rupees as a surplus, then the first investment which I choose is this one. This actually fits my saving. So 10,000 rupees, okay, fits this. I'll do more research and I'll do this investments. So this sheet will help you to keep a track of all the investment options available, and it will also help you to motivate to think further. Okay, can I stretch my finances? Can I reshuffle my finances to invest into this assets? Okay, for example, let's say if I wish, I like this property which is costing around 25 lakhs. So normally when you buy a property, you don't put all the money upfront. Okay, so you would pay, let's say, 20% as a token amount, remaining you take it as a loan. So in this case I mentioned, okay, 25 lakh is the property value, and I have to pay 5 lakh rupees, and I have to take a 20 lakh home loan. Okay, and that will currently the home loan interest is around 8%, and the tentative EMI is around 12,000 rupees. Okay, if I take a 25-year or a 30-year loan. So when I do this, okay, this sounds very interesting. Okay, and I think the property is going to be good. I will stretch my finances. If I can arrange the 5 lakh rupees, which is the initial token amount, I'll be able to acquire this property. I'll take a home loan, which is in this case it's eligible home loan, and the savings which I do 16,000, a part of that saving can go into this EMI. So why this is important is, when I take this home, when I buy this property, this becomes an asset, and I pay the EMI on a monthly basis. And if I'm not going to stay there, once I get the possession, I can put that on rent. So I can put that on rent, and that will earn a rental income for me. So assuming you do this investment as an example, so this will completely change your net worth statement. So let's say I do this investment, let's say green, we go to the balance sheet. So what happens is property B comes to, let's say, 25 lakhs. Okay, home loan, let's say 20 lakhs. Okay, my net worth has increased. Okay, and here assuming I get the possession of this property and I put it on rent, okay, so the rental income also will increase. Let's say the rental income which I get is, let's say, 10,000 rupees. So with this my income goes up. Okay, and here the home loan EMI is around, let's say, 12,000 rupees. So this is how it will work. So let's say I've totaled it up. So this is how, so it changes. Okay, so the intention or the importance of this 3 sheet, okay, if we keep following it on a regular basis, it will help you to increase your net worth. Okay, so that's how. So sorry, I think I mentioned a wrong number here. I think it's 20 lakhs. So if you remember, my earlier net worth was 13.5. Now it has gone up to 18.5 because I've shuffled my finances, arranged for that token amount, and this has grown in value. After, let's say, 3 to 5 years, let's say the property value which I bought, the 25 lakh is, let's say, valued at 50 lakhs. My net worth further goes up. I'm getting richer and richer over a period of time. So following this 3 sheet, it will help you to save more money on a month-on-month basis, to invest more money on a month-on-month basis, and also to grow rich over a longer period of time. Okay, I hope this video helps you a lot, and I hereby request, if you think this really works and if you understand it, I would request kindly implement this, and you will start seeing the difference over a longer period of time. Okay, so thanks for watching, and kindly subscribe to our channel and write to us if you have any queries at support@finspurt.com. See you soon in our next video, and I hereby request you to also use this as your New Year resolution. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. See you soon.